What's good, guys? Welcome to another video, and as you can see from the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about the 10 mistakes you're making that are making you weak and are robbing you from your masculine energy. Doing these things will keep you stuck, and this will keep you in a low level emotion. It makes you undriven and unfocused and not able to move forward in life, and doing a lot of these things is the main reason you feel stuck, and the reason your life isn't the way you want it to be is because a lot of these things you might still be doing. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not perfect. I still struggle with a few of these as well, like indecision. This is just something I've realized in my own journey that can hold you back like nothing else. So we're gonna hop straight into it, guys. Now, obviously, a bit of the theme of this whole channel as well, the most obvious one, like the watching the dirty websites, and we could even put fapping behind that, as that will rob you from your energy, and especially masculine energy as well, because you're constantly going to be wasting away your sexual energy. Watching the dirty websites will absolutely mess your brain up, and it will mess you up as a man. So there's so many reasons why this will mess you up, but the main reason is that this will completely mess up your whole perception of reality. You're not able to look clearly on the world anymore. Next to that, you are completely messing up your reward system. So a lot of things that are going to feel hard in a moment, right? They suck. It's not very nice to do, like hitting a workout, or maybe you have to clean your room, you have to clean your house, right? But in the future, in the long term, it's going to improve your life. You're not going to be able to do that if you're constantly giving your brain this reward system of the dirty websites, because it simply doesn't compare, right? It will mess you up as a man. So the first thing you will notice when you get rid of the dirty websites, after a while at least, when your brain recovered, is that you will start to enjoy doing hard things that are good for you a lot more. You get a lot more pleasure out of those things, and they become a lot easier. Next to that, you're going to feel so much more assertive and just feel more in your masculine energy. You're no longer going to be afraid to speak to a woman, because what you're doing when you're constantly watching the dirty websites, subconsciously you're putting the woman on a pedestal. So now when you go out there, there's just more social anxiety. There's more just seeing a woman and feeling anxious and not knowing what to say. This will rob you from your life energy, from your spiritual energy, from your connection to God even. Okay, maybe you think this is free, right? It's not. You pay with your soul. You're paying with your spiritual energy, right? And that is infinitely more valuable than any type of money. Right, guys, so the next big mistake I see so many men make, and like obviously in this current time more than ever, it's seeking pleasure. You're continuously seeking pleasure because you don't yet understand, and your brain doesn't yet understand, that working on hard things right now that will level you up are so much more fulfilling. Seeking pleasure will absolutely crush your life. There's no fulfillment there. It's cheap pleasure. It's empty calories, guys. It's simply empty calories you're chasing. It's got nothing to offer you but just a quick little high, but afterwards you want more of it. It's a never-ending cycle of seeking pleasure, but you'll never actually be able to focus on the long-term joy, right? You start to get from just improving your life, focusing on the present. If you only see pleasure as a man, you're going to feel weak within yourself, because you start to feel good about yourself when you challenge yourself, when you're doing things in the moment that don't necessarily feel good, but in the long term they're going to be good for you. Your future self doesn't care whether or not this current action is going to be difficult or not. It just cares about if it's going to be good for you on the long term. This is something to remember and to understand, because if you constantly chase pleasure, you are going to work yourself into the ground. You're not going to be able to get anywhere, because the only thing your brain thinks is, I want pleasure right now. And when I'm talking about seeking pleasure here, pleasure in and of itself isn't bad, because guess what? Achieving, right, a new bench press PR, for an example, in the gym feels like pleasure. Pleasure is simply the byproduct of your brain releasing dopamine. But the most important thing to understand about pleasure is that pleasure isn't bad, but pleasure without effort is what is bad. So it doesn't take effort to open the dirty websites, and you're just trying to fill a void within yourself you cannot fill. And as you continue to seek this quick pleasure, you will only create more and more of this void, right? The void will only get bigger and bigger. You will never find it. So the third one, guys, is going to be chasing ass. If you are constantly chasing ass, if you're constantly chasing women, right, what you're doing is you are robbing yourself from your masculine energy, because masculine energy is what leads, right? And that is an amazing feeling. When you lead your own destiny, when you are going after your vision, the woman will follow. Don't worry about the woman. Right? Just chasing ass is going to make you feel weak, and it's going to leave you empty-handed at the end of the day. The only thing, once again, you'll gain from this is a little bit of pleasure. Now, there's nothing wrong with actually going out there and speaking to women, because you need to have some experience and you need to gain some social skills for yourself. So you have to get through this phase of chasing ass as quickly as possible. Some men never go through this phase. Some men stay stuck in the phase of chasing ass their whole life and they waste their whole life away. And some men wished they actually went through this phase, but they never went through the phase. So if that desire is still in you, yes, maybe you actually have to act it out. Because let's talk about semen retention, right? We talk a lot about semen retention here, but semen retention for a lot of men is also just a subconscious way to say, no, I'm not focusing on women right now. I'm just going to be on semen retention because I need to work on myself. But they continue to do this, but deep down it's just an excuse to never talk to women and to never actually upgrade your own social skills. So be really aware of that and be really conscious if that is the case for you. If that is the case, right, maybe you do want to take a step back and you do just want to admit to yourself, hold on, my social skills suck, and maybe I do in fact need to go out there and socialize with humans, including women, to improve my social skills. All right, so the fourth one is going to be alcohol. The reason alcohol will truly mess you up is, well, we know it, alcohol isn't good. And studies out there, like recent studies as well, even show that alcohol is so much worse than we thought in the first place. I personally quit drinking alcohol, probably like 14 months ago. I'm not going back. If you frequently drink alcohol or you binge drink here and there, it's completely going to mess you up, right? It's going to decrease your testosterone. It's going to completely throw all your routine out of the window. It lowers your vibration. And if you're on semen retention as well, it's a massive no-go. Like, I would avoid alcohol at all costs because there is literally no positive to alcohol. Number 5 is staying around wrong people. This will crush your potential. If you're still around people, right, and what you'll notice is once you truly want to improve yourself and you want to make steps forward, and what you'll notice is that the people surrounding you no longer match that. But if you then still stay stuck to these people, they will bring you down. So you have to become very aware of the people you hang around with. And I know you've heard about this. You become like the person you hang around with most, or the 5 people you hang around with most. And it's true. It's so freaking true, right? But the beauty is these days we have the internet. So if you hang around with me, for an example, for a lot, right? Or other people, maybe you join communities or something else. By the way, Path to Purity community in the description link down below. That's a cheeky one. Anyway, that still counts, right? Because it's real. Like, the people even on the internet can truly influence you like nothing else. So be very conscious of that. What is entering your mind on a day-to-day basis? What types of people, what types of standards do they have in their own life? Right? Because if their standards are right here, right, as soon as you do a little bit tiny better, you already feel good about yourself and your brain just thinks, oh, I'm doing fine. You know, maybe like, sure, I'm still drinking alcohol and I'm seeking pleasure watching dirty websites, but I'm not doing drugs like my friends. I'm doing pretty well for myself, right? Be very aware of that. This will truly determine where your life is going to go, guys. Next one is going to be indecision, being indecisive. Part of being masculine, right, and being in your masculine energy fully is to be decisive, is to just say, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to do this. Indecision will once again keep you stuck like nothing else. And I've struggled with this a lot. Being indecisive, this is my own weak point. I'm going to be honest, I'm not perfect whatsoever, right? But I'm working on this. I'm really working on this because sometimes I do in fact think this is what I want to do. Something else is crossing my mind and I don't do it and I end up not really doing anything. And then a few weeks later, I'm like, man, I should have just chosen this certain thing because I'm still at the same place where I was a few months ago, right? Decide this is what I'm doing and you go do it. This is going to make you feel confident. And I realize this in my own journey as well. Every single time I just say, this is what I'm doing and I go do it. I feel great. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling and it builds strength and character within yourself. All right, the next one. This is a huge one. And this, in my opinion, is something most men these days struggle with the most, right? It's to avoid challenge. Men are not challenged anymore. We're not seeking any challenge. We're not pushing forward, right? We're not seeking growth. We're not doing something uncomfortable. We're not setting goals for ourselves anymore. What's going to happen here, guys, is that this will literally rob you from your masculine energy and your potential, right? If you're not challenging yourself enough. It's so easy to stay comfortable these days with all the comfortable stuff going on, but it will absolutely kill you and crush you within yourself. Like, you are literally, what you're doing is you're literally insulting your own life, your own soul, right? You have all this potential within yourself. Yes, even you watching this, you have all this potential within yourself. but you're not able to push forward, you're not willing to push forward, and you come up with excuses why you don't want to challenge yourself. You're just doing the same freaking thing every single day, yet deep down in the back of your mind, you do know that you can do a lot better. But what's in front of there is challenge. You need to push forward. You need to just sometimes grab yourself by the balls and drag yourself into the new challenge. Because if this is not what you're doing, you're going to be eaten up by your own mind very slowly. The reason a lot of men feel absolutely terrible, and the reason you feel insecure, and the reason you feel like shit, is because your subconscious mind knows you are not leaning into your highest potential. You're not leaning into challenge. If you don't lean into challenge, you become weak. Facts. It's facts. As a man, you become weak if you don't lean into challenge. Challenging yourself is masculine energy, pushing forwards. Feminine energy is being. Masculine energy is force, it's penetration, it's taking action, right? If you're just being too much, but you have more masculine energy within yourself naturally, and 90% of men have more masculine energy than feminine energy. For women, it's the exact opposite. You're going to feel empty within yourself. And this has happened to me as well. When I got really deep into spirituality, all I was meditating. But I felt so weak within myself. And I even remember 2 years ago, I visited a hostel in Albania. I traveled to Albania, and I was entering this hippie-like hostel. And it was like I was back in the 70s. There were just all these men meditating with long hair and being very nice, very present and very lovely, right? And they were very nice. But I could see deep down in their eyes, there was this emptiness within themselves. Because what they did is they were no longer challenging themselves because they convinced the present is all there is. And that is in reality true. But if you're just being, right, if you're not pushing forward, yet you have this masculine drive within you that you do have, which the majority of men have, right? You're not going to feel good. And it's hard to admit that, but that's true. This is simply the truth. You as a man, you need to challenge yourself and you need to push forward into challenge. This will make you feel strong. This will make you feel confident. This will make you feel powerful. And what is the next challenge, you might ask? It's the thing that is in front of you. You already know what the next thing is. I don't need to tell you, because we already know. Because you've been putting off this challenge for way too long already. But you constantly convince yourself that it's not the right time, you know? I'm not ready for this yet, right? This will crush you inside. Next one is victimhood. So, victimhood in and of itself is just saying and looking onto the world and saying, why me? Right? But the reason I can't do that is because of XYZ. Look at all these guys doing all of that stuff, but I can't do that because of XYZ, because of that situation or this situation, or because I've gone through this, right? No one cares about your problems. It's as simple as that. Sometimes you just have to be real. Step into courage. Get away from the pity talk, the pity self-talk, and playing like a victim. Take responsibility of your life and move forward. Take the next step. Stop being a victim. No one likes to be around victim people. I'm sorry I'm being harsh here, but I'm truly passionate about this, guys, because I went through all these freaking steps. And I know what it's like to have all this in your life. It sucks. It sucks. And I'm talking from a place of pain here because I know how hard this shit can suck. You're not in a special situation. And even if you are, no one cares. Just grab yourself by the balls and move into courage. Become courageous. Courage means doing the thing anyway, even when you're scared. Do the thing scared, right? Do it in fear. No one said the fear is going to go away. You have to do it while you still feel the fear. It's part of the game, but this makes you feel strong and this creates more strength within yourself. Number 9, and it's kind of links to the other ones, it's not doing what you say. So the thing that will mess you up as a man is saying one thing and doing the other thing. That's what women do, right? Woman says one thing and she does the other thing, and it's fine. That's feminine energy, right? Feminine energy is all over the place, and that is actually very attractive. Right, so that's exactly why when a woman is saying something and she does something else, it happens all the time. This is why men feel so confused. My woman said this, but she meant this, right? You are supposed to understand this. But if you do this as a man, it's not great, right? You are robbing yourself from your masculine energy, right? Masculinity is strength. It's following up with your words. If you say you're going to do something, if you say you're going to go to the gym tomorrow, you need to go to the gym. If you say you're going to read every morning, you need to read every morning. You need to follow up with what you say you're going to do. And over time, you're going to build up your character. But if you say something and you don't do it, right, even when no one is watching, you'll know. Your subconscious will know. And you will look yourself in the mirror at some point. And I'm saying this because I went through this exact thing. You will look yourself in the mirror and you know you're messing up. And I remember telling myself, I'm being an absolute pussy. And when I told myself that, when I admitted defeat, when I admitted the fact that I was weak, I was able to become strong. So first get to this point. Admit to yourself, hold on, I'm not where I want to be and I'm being a bitch. I'm being a pussy. And I need to actually do something about it. This is the point where you want to get to. You have to be just willing to admit your shortcomings, because if you're not able to do that, you're not able to grow. So the last point, guys, is going to be suppressing. Now you might think, what? Suppressing what? So it's mainly suppressing your dark side, your dark emotions, right? Whenever negative thoughts come up, we naturally, as men, right, we suppress it. Right, we do something else, we don't listen to it, right? But this will actually mess you up, because what you're doing now is you're going to be carrying around all these negative emotions, but you need to move through those emotions, you need to face it, right? It's a lot easier to just say, oh, whatever, right? I stay as strong as I can, these emotions are nothing. No, you want to feel them, you want to feel fully into them. That is courage, that is masculinity, to move through these freaking emotions, to take it on, right? So all those dark aspects, those dark emotions, face them completely. Don't suppress it, because you'll be walking around tense. You'll be walking around unhappy because you're not fully looking at your own dark sides. So guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.